my name is Andrew Hilton. This is my life story so far. I've come a long way in my walk with Christ, and I want to share a few things about where I've been to where I am now in my journey. We've always gone to church here, Mom and Dad. We've always been part of the Pauline family far back as I can remember. I remember 8 years old, walking the aisle, had accepted Christ, and had a lot of fun growing up. And I stayed with God pretty close, I feel like. On through my teenage years, about till I went to college. That's when I started making another turn. I believe I started what I kind of think about as a 10-year season of sin. Still yet, I stayed in church. I went through the motions, did my thing, and probably looked okay to a lot of folks, but deep down, if you want to get real about it, I wasn't in a good place. That led me to make some pretty far out wrong decisions. I wound up in a very, very dark place for several years. It was not where God wanted me to be. And I think a lot of us do that. I think we do things that we think are right. We go down things that they feel right, they seem right, but they're not right. It's not what God wants, it's what we want. And I spent about a 10-year season of sin, which is sad. That's a lot of time lost, but it's part of my story. It's part of the journey to how I got to where I am today, which is chasing God, following God, and trying to seek His will. About halfway through this 10-year season of sin, I started hitting a really peak point of, I guess, as terrible as it could get. I went through some really bad things. A lot of people know my story, but I went through a pretty catastrophic storm. I was, I guess, numb in a way, and then I really started running. A lot of drinking. I had tried, to find my own way in life as far as, where God wanted me to be, who He wanted me to be with. I never listened. I always did it in my own perspective. About, I say, August of 2013 is when things changed for me. That's when a wall broke. It was the end of this 10-year season I keep talking about, and that's when I said, God, you can have it. I don't want these habits anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want what you want. I don't want what Andrew wants. I want what you want for my life. I met a person who had a story very similar to mine. That turned out to be a huge door for me, one of the biggest in my life. I'm married to that person today, and anyway, that has been the biggest door God has ever opened for me, and that's just part of my story. As soon as I listened and I submitted myself and went from where I was doing it my way to submitting to Him and beginning to obey, that's the biggest door that He's ever opened for me. My marriage that He blessed me with, that's a bonus. And He's got plans for all of us. He's got, whatever the struggle is, whatever we're dealing with, we have to get from where we want to be in the driver's seat to letting Him have the steering wheel. I've tried everything that I can think of, and this joy, this peace, this feeling, it doesn't compare. it doesn't even come close. The peace that He gives me. And I'm thankful to be where I'm at today.